Welcome back to Money Matters. I'm Emily Johnson, joined by David Kroll, and we were just discussing the flashy field of interest rates, actually, and specifically just some of the news that's come out about where we might think interest rates are going and what they might do to equity markets. And David was leading us off with that.
Sometimes interest rates are actually flashy.
They are.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I do realize that if on any given day equities are way more interesting because you can pick your spot. If you like surfing, you can look at surf company equities. If you like running, you can look at Nike, and I mean, you can always find something more exciting in equities.
Well, we try to make it exciting.
Interest rates, not so interesting. But as to the Fed, frankly, what we see happening is a different trend. We see the Fed possibly entering a period where it has less relevance than before. The markets, think about this. Since the election, the bond prices, the 10-year Treasury, the core of our bond market, of our U.S. bond market, has gone up almost 50%. It's gone up about 46 or 47%. In other words, the real market, the real trading market, has led the Fed by a long shot.
They can increase interest rates 25 basis points, and it's already priced in, and it's up 75 basis points.
It's up 75 basis points or 80 basis points already, from 150, 160, 170, 1.6, 1.7% to 2.5, 2.6%. That's a huge rise. That's the markets doing, nothing to do with the Fed. The Fed has kind of bumbled along and in the meantime increased rates by 0.25%, which is very small, and indicated that it's taking a positive look at increasing rates 2 or 3 times during the coming 12 months.
It's almost trying to increase its relevance now by just trying to step up to the plate.
Right, but it appears that the markets are way ahead of the Fed in this case, and we think that the Fed is really going to have less relevance in terms of our business, which is the interest rates on mortgages, which are the interest rates that most concern you guys.
Well, I mean, so that along those same lines, the Fed is concerned with inflation. They're also concerned with employment.
With employment,
and
that's correct. And employment's doing pretty well.
Employment is doing well, but that's a metric it's kind of like Chinese metrics. I mean, that's a metric that's a little wishy-washy when you really look at it. When you look at the types of jobs that are there. I mean, certainly we just saw that Macy's is going to be laying off something like 10,000 people.
10,000 people.
You know, some of these changes that might go on with the U.S. government, should some of that actually come to fruition, there's going to be lots of layoffs there as well. Maybe not, but there have been increased announcements of layoffs, which needs to happen in a healthy economy. It does, for companies to right size and shore up their balance sheets for the shareholders and everything, but. By the same token, I feel like and I think there are a lot of people that would agree that the metrics on unemployment are definitely a little wishy-washy, or not a true indicator of where employment or unemployment is, which makes the Fed even, again, questionable in their relevance.
Questionable relevance. It's a transitional world economy. It's certainly a transitional economy in the United States. The old industrial jobs are not coming back. That piece of the Trump message is fluff. The old industrial jobs just aren't coming back. There's massive retraining that needs to take place. That part of the message is not fluff. That's the real deal. So what you want to look for is people talking and stories which talk about the real transition, the real change in the global economy. We are not going to win back low-paying jobs. It's just not going to happen. We'll win 1,000 here or 1,000 there, but those are not important indicators. Our economy is retooling, and that may take 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years.
It definitely seems like it's going to be much more of a localized impact. I mean, when we look here, for example, we could argue that it's pretty healthy here right now.
That's correct.
Of course, we're based primarily around tourism, retirees, real estate, I don't know, what else we pay?
Real estate, retirement, medical. Those are the big three. They all concentrate on people who are aged 55 to 75 years old. That's the core of our economy. That's going to become even more the core of our economy. Hilton Head is extraordinarily well positioned. The country as a whole is in transition. So there's, if you're looking at the big picture, the country is going to have positive winds, counter winds, positive winds. It's going to be buffeted for a very long time to come because it just is a fact that everything's changing.
Right.
And but our local economy should be on a winning streak for probably 10 to 15 years simply because of the inflow of retiring baby boomers. That's just absolutely the case. They're going to bring their checkbooks and their retirement accounts with them. They're going to buy houses. They're going to spend their money locally. They're not going to spend vast amounts of money because they're no longer working. They're on, in essence, they're on a plan that you've developed.
It really
for
is
them.
not changing all that much these days. I mean, again, getting back to equity markets, bond markets. Really, the plans are not changing that much these days. We always try to find some grand, very important idea that's coming along that's going to rock the world and really set us apart. And really, that's not there right now. The grand plan is making sure that you don't make emotional decisions. The grand plan is, is continuing to live within your means. I mean, all of these things are sort of the grand plan, and it is not exciting and it's not flashy. But at least for the foreseeable future, that is still what makes the most sense. There's nothing that is earth-shattering, despite all the excitement of Trump coming into office, despite all the excitement of what's gone on for the last several months with these elections. There's still nothing that's that exciting for where to dive in and speculate.
Exactly. Economics become personal very quickly. I mean, in any economic conversation that goes on past 2 glasses of wine or 2 cups of coffee, it goes from global to personal pretty quickly.
What should I do with that? What should I take that information?
What am I worrying about?
Right.
What are my challenges? And how
do I take advantage of this opportunity?
That's right. Yeah. And if you are in Seattle, Washington, you would find yourself in a millennial-based economy of young people who all think that they're going to hit it rich and start their own company. If you're in Hilton Head, then you're looking for ways to serve a retiring population. I mean, it's a completely different take, very local, big differences. All the builders in the Bluffton area, the national home builders and all the builders who are the one-off fancy custom design builders are all booked out a year in advance. They're all doing extremely well. This economy is expanding and will continue to do
Despite
well.
the very real uncertainty that exists on the global level. Here, I don't feel that we have quite as much uncertainty. And so when we look at things from a global macro perspective, and when I'm reading analyst reports, there's a lot of discussion of uncertainty and uncertainty around politics, uncertainty around geopolitics, uncertainty around terrorism, uncertainty around, you pick it. And yet, when you boil it down here, we're really not in that.
And the other interesting thing is that you may find the financial planners, the financial advisors may find that they're able to deliver a slightly better rate of return than in the last couple of years as things move forward. If interest rates go up, I mean, bonds will deliver 3% or 3.5% or 4% instead of 2%.
Right.
So there will be slightly better news for retirees, which is a big plus because retirees can govern their outflow. That's what we've always explained is, the biggest rate of return, the biggest boom stock in your life is governing your outflow because you can affect that by 20, 30, 40%.
And we've had such a hard time with any sort of guarantees, and what everybody wants is a guarantee, and that's there are very, very few.
Right. So it may be that we're going to see a slightly better trend in terms of what money managers can deliver. can reasonably safely deliver. There may be a nice shift in that direction, which is big news for a place like Hilton Head, which has a lot of retirees, because that's what people need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us this week on Money Matters. Please let us know your thoughts, any ideas that you have for future shows. We love hearing from you. Check us out on Facebook. And until next week, this has been Money Matters.